guys.
Just Sales will be doing Jay's questions as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you all. Thank you very much for coming. Usual scenario for us, we'll have Dharmesh from Sky to start and Chris from PLP to follow on afterwards. Anything else under immediate embargo can go at that point. We'll have an embargoed section 10:30 PM tonight for tomorrow's newspapers. Are all our cameras happy? Dharmesh, you can go when you're ready.
Thomas, good afternoon. I'll try and phrase this first question so you might be able to get a positive answer from you with team news. Is there anything positive you can tell us?
I guess the positive is that Brentford is getting closer. It will still be, the aim will still be after the international break, and hopefully he will be available for the Man U game.
I was here last week and you interjected on one of my questions when I was talking about relegation and you said we are staying in the Premier League. I just want to get that out there. Did that feeling get reinforced further with that performance against Chelsea?
It was definitely a very good feeling after the game. I thought it was a very good performance overall, especially second half, and also that bounce back mentality I talked about. So bouncing back from a bad performance, but also in the game where we're going 1-0 down and coming back and leading 2-1, I thought was very impressive. And the players deserve a lot of credit. So I got a big belief in the players and the team, and they showed why I should have a big belief.
It's a totally different proposition now with Arsenal. Does it get much tougher in the current Premier League form-wise than Arsenal away?
No, I don't think so. I think, if you say form-wise, momentum, then they are right up there. I think it's clear it's Arsenal, Liverpool and City. They are ahead of the rest. And right now, maybe Arsenal are performing to the absolutely maximum. I've stopped counting the goals they've scored, and some of you probably got it, the number.
In the last 7.
Is how much?
31 in the last 7.
31 in the last 7. That's more than 4 per game or something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's impressive. So I guess we need to be pretty good to defend. 31. Very impressive. But we trust ourselves. We believe in ourselves. We know what we're about and what we can do. But of course, they deserve a lot of praise. I would say Arteta, its coaching staff and the players, it's clearly that they have improved from last year. And I don't know exactly how you do that, but they managed to have a okay first part of the season, but they look so much stronger now. And I know we're not in the run-in, but we know the title will be decided in March, April, and of course May, but so that they look so strong coming into it. So I think that's a combination of all of them learning, young team, young squad, got more experience, and then just on the performances, they look very, very strong. So I think the job they all have done together is very impressive.
You always give them a game though.
Yeah.
Does that give you confidence? And is that the kind of message you'll be telling your players?
Yeah. We know that we hopefully can do it again. I would say that I said that to the players. The good news, we always give them a game. The bad news is that they've never been better. So we need to put a top performance out there to get something out of the game. No doubt about that. And they know they have to beat us. So of course I'm pretty sure they are happy to take the pressure on them, and they know they need to beat us to still be in the title race. Yeah.
A couple of interesting subplots. One is, of course, no David Raya for Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale will play in goal. Is that something potentially you can exploit? Not the fact that how you rate the two goalkeepers, but maybe Arsenal are used to a certain style of play with David Raya behind them. Is that something maybe we can exploit?
Yeah, we saw it last time. I don't think they changed their style of play. They want to dominate. They want to control the game. They want to build from behind. But and they know we will when we can, we'll try to press high. They know that. We'll try to press as much as possible. But the most teams they go a little bit longer then. So they probably just go a little bit longer. So I don't think it'll change that much.
Here comes the Ivan Toney question. He's been linked.
Only one.
Strongly,
Oh,
only one.
okay, good, yeah.
He's been linked very strongly with Arsenal.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity, I guess, for him to shine like it has been since he's come back. But is there a danger maybe he could try too hard? And is that something that you might need to sit down with him and speak about, or is that not a concern?
It's definitely something that I don't speak with Ivan before games about a specific opponent or for whatever reason. The reason I speak to him is because I haven't been pleased with his performance in the previous game, or that we need him at his absolute best in the coming one. And again, there's a lot of rumors about a lot of things. I know Ivan very well, and he's focusing on one thing: perform, do everything to help the team, hopefully score a few goals, and that'll be it.
Final one from me, Thomas. You took Brentford from the Championship to the Premier League. You've kept them up 2 consecutive seasons. Given what's happened this season and the injuries that you've suffered and the issues you've had off the field as well, namely what's happened with Ivan, if you were to see a 4th season at the GTEC Community Stadium of the Premier League, would it eclipse anything you've done?
That's a very good question. We've been privileged over the last season with some fantastic results. It will be up there. I think it is a hard season. Every season in the Premier League is hard, no matter where you are in the Inland League. But of course, with the injuries and the setbacks we've had, I think to be able to do that, that will be a fantastic result, which I'm convinced we'll do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
You had lots of praise for Arsenal, but how do you come away with at least a point tomorrow afternoon?
Probably we should do everything we can to close them down. 31 goals in the last 7 is a lot. But I think a couple of things. One, we got to defend well. We have to defend well. Hopefully, we can be aggressive and press forward at times as much as possible. And then, of course, the low block is going to be crucial. And then the third thing I think is defensive is closing down their key players. They got a lot of them. No doubt that Saka is one of them. Ødegaard is one of them. Those are 2 key, but also Martinelli, Havertz, and so on. There's a lot that we need to be aware of. We need to remember to go the other way as much as possible. We need to have spells where when we can be on the ball, how can we hurt them, especially probably see if we can go behind them or put crosses in. So really believe that we can hurt them there. But the way we play, we know if we hit a top performance, we'll have a chance.
The last time Aaron Ramsdale played in the Premier League was against yourselves earlier in the season. Can you exploit that lack of game time he's had tomorrow?
I am pretty sure he trains very well, and he's getting game times behind closed doors and so on, and he will be very focused on performing well because he knows that's important for him and his future. And as far as I remember, last time he had some unbelievable saves. So, yeah.
Good to see Brian Mbeumo back. And
Yep.
I know you mentioned he may return to the Manchester United game, but how important is it that you do give him the time to return to his full fitness, but also you need him in these games? How difficult is it to find that balance?
Yeah, I think that's the balance. I think if I see on the training pitch that he's there, and of course he need to have a certain foundation of fitness level. But when I see he's sharp out there and he's performing and he got up to the minimum, then it's just a decision making how much you can play and get him into it as quick as possible, because he's obviously a key player. With the type of injury he had, it's not like, touch wood, you can get a setback because not a hamstring, for example, where you can maybe provoke it a little bit too early. So for me, it's just about fitness and the sharpness.
I noticed he's been playing the piano during his rehab here at the training ground, I think. Have you heard him play, and is he any good?
Just a tiny bit. He's very impressive. He's a very talented guy. He's also good at drawing, and he's got a lot of talents.
If I could ask my Ivan Toney question as well. Some people have said that tomorrow is potentially an audition for him. Do you agree with that notion?
No, I don't think you see any of the games as auditions. I think he plays for Brentford. He want to perform for Brentford. Want to do well for us. Now, you know, there's a lot of rumours out there, and the reason because all those rumours is because he has performed well in almost every game, no matter who is he facing. If it's been Sheffield Wednesday away, Arsenal away, Burnley home, Brighton. So I don't think it matters.
And just finally, for me, you've had so many setbacks this season with Brentford. Come May, what would look like success for you?
It's a good question. I'd like to do what we can to see if we can win tomorrow against Arsenal, and then take it from there. Let's see. There's so many things that can happen. I would still like to look up as much as possible. Thank you.
Anything for immediate embargo? Yes.
Hi Thomas. Today is International Women's Day, as I'm sure you know. I was wondering if there are any women in your personal life or at the club who you feel are really important to doing what you do as a manager.
First and foremost, I think it's an important day to celebrate how important women are in the world, in our daily life, and everything, and how much more opportunities they should be given in some countries, some regions. I think I need to answer my wife and my two daughters. I think that's pretty important, and probably also my mom, my sister, and then I can go down the line. Now I think especially I'm very proud of my two daughters, especially because I think they're the new generation, and they are very strong-minded in many areas, and very proud of them.
Lovely. And we're in March 2024 now, but if we go back to February 2023, you pulled off a 1-1 draw at the Emirates and played very, very well as well. Do you feel that back then you were kind of on the cusp of European football, now you're slipping towards a relegation battle? Is there a difference in the mindset that you have going into this game compared to last year, or is it mostly the same?
For me, mostly the same. There is that. It's very, very pleasing that we are coming on the back of a good performance against Chelsea, where we were a little bit our normal self, especially the second half. That should give more confidence and belief to the players. I know what we're capable of. It's just about finding enough consistent minutes or adding two halves together, because 2 weeks ago we went to Etihad and played a very good game, and we're one slip away for getting something out of that game. And City are also a pretty decent team. So I'm pretty sure that we can do something there. We know we need to be absolutely on it. We know we need to top perform. But that's the belief. Of course, you always go in with it, and you see Arsenal just batter Sheffield United 6-0 away from home, and you think, how good will they be at home? But every game got its own story. Every game is different. Our challenge is that Arsenal are respecting us, so they will come flying out. But we're looking forward to the challenge, and we believe that we can do something.
And on that point, you had an outstanding record against the kind of traditional Big Six last season. That's faded slightly this year in terms of the results. Do feel like it's also come with the performances, or is it just you're not getting the luck, you're not getting those fine margins?
I think it's still. I think it's some of it is fine margins. I think the slip against City is a clear fine margin, not going our way. Against Liverpool, we did fantastic in first half, as we talked about, and then we basically gave them 2 of the goals. So of course we can't do that tomorrow. That's why we need to perform. And I think the third thing, of course, is injuries. Doesn't help. But even with the big injury list we have, still have a belief that we can go there and do something.
And you mentioned earlier in this conference that you think this Arsenal team is better than the one you faced last season. What specific areas do you think they've improved in, and how are you hoping to kind of neutralise those improvements?
I think they got that little bit of. They got more consistency in everything they're doing. What is consistency? So I think that the young team-ish has been. They do less mistakes. Let's say the 2 centre backs, relatively young centre backs. I think they're doing fantastic. I think they defend fantastic. I think they're good with the ball. They're composed. They, as a team, are defending even more, both visually, even better, both visually and also on the stats. I think there are some crazy stats. They only concede XG on 0.7. That's ridiculously low, and that's down to good structure, principles, but also the determination as a team. And then I think I'm pretty sure they know they're good, but they also know that they need to work very hard, and they have that extra determination and hunger that they haven't won anything yet compared to Liverpool and City, and maybe that's the bit that will give them that edge in a long season, maybe.
That's all from me, thanks.
Yeah.
Sam.
I just wanted to start with a couple of questions about Tony. He was seen limping after the game against Chelsea. Is there any updates? Is he injured?
He's fine. He will start.
Perfect. And the second one was regarding Tony's appearance at the Brit Awards a few hours after the draw. What did you make of that?
Did he? I didn't know. I didn't know. So
No
I guess he was good at it. Yeah.
And then we've spoken quite a bit about Aaron Ramsdale and Raya and this sort of battle between them. What have you made of Ramsdale as a character, as a player, his situation, and sort of what he brings to this Arsenal side?
Ramsdale.
Yes, Ramsdale.
I don't know him as well as probably a better question for Arteta. I know it was yesterday he had his press conference. Looking from the outside, looks like he has a good personality and mentality, and yeah, I think he's a good keeper.
And then with games against the Big Six, there's been sort of, you've taken the lead quite a few times. City at home, Tottenham away. This is, again, it sort of comes down to this concentration thing. Have you looked into that? Have you looked into ways of specifically combating that in case you do take the lead tomorrow?
More just we talked about it. Sometimes if we concede one, that can happen. Make sure we don't concede too quickly, for example. Just a simple thing like that, or can the players get together? Can they talk to each other? Stuff like that. If that happens on the pitch, and then keep trying, keep reinforcing, keep focusing on our structure and principles.
And you benefited a little bit from a fortuitous VAR decision last year at the Emirates. How important do you think luck is going to be? Obviously, you can't buy your own luck. You've got to perform well to start with, but you're going to need that extra bit of luck tomorrow?
Yeah, just to clarify that one, I'm happy that you ask about it, because they also benefited of a little bit of a luck. Was it Saliba or was it Gabriel that slipped? And then it was a foul on Brian, he was through. So I think also they benefit on that luck. I think every team, if they want to achieve anything big, they need some margins going their way in the crucial moments.
Of course, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else before we go under embargo? No, we'll do that then. So cameras can keep running as long as the embargo's noted.